Brandon Lee. Do you remember Brandon Lee? Alec Baldwin does.
Damn!
Brandon Lee is the son of Bruce Lee. Now, if you guys don't know, Bruce Lee, thought by his family, was assassinated. But the medical records showed a brain edema, like a bad reaction to pills, and his head swole, and it killed him. Now, the whole family thought Bruce Lee was assassinated. The conspiracy behind that was he had some rivals with the Triads, and the Triads had some connections in Hollywood at the time. So the tragic death of Bruce Lee was a huge hit to Hollywood. I mean, it's Bruce fucking Lee. But he had a son, Brandon. And in the 90s, Brandon got old enough to start doing his own work. When Brandon was a kid, Bruce taught him everything. He taught him the martial arts, taught him acting, taught him all that stuff. And Brandon was a bad boy. I mean, think about it. You're Bruce Lee's son. You're the most badass man in the world at the time's son. So you got to be a badass, right? You got to talk the talk. You got to walk the walk. You go to school, you know, you never know what you're going to get at school. But Brandon was bad in school. He ended up getting suspended a lot. Pretty sure he got expelled from one. Fact check me on that. Look, I Googled this and I researched, but I'm not going to like memorize this dude's school career. But I do know that he went to college for acting. He did eventually start going to college for acting, and then he got out and started acting. I think he did Showdown in Little Tokyo. Something about Rage, something. I'll just throw it up right here. Rapid Fire, I think he was in. But most notoriously, or famously, he was in The Crow. Now, towards the wrap-up of The Crow, the crew already had a terrible time with this. The work hours for it were dreadful. There was already so many safety errors and safety mistakes.
Carpenter was severely burned when live wires connected with the piece of equipment he was working on. That was followed by 2 other accidents that same day. The cast and crew started referring to the curse of the crow.
Nothing ever.
They swore that, you know, this filming was doomed from the start. Now, all the craziest stunts and all the hardest stuff was already over. And during the wrap, well, not the wrap, the last few scenes that needed to be shot, well, Brandon gets shot. And then Alec Baldwin showed up. I'm kidding.
Earlier last week, there was a sense of relief on the set of The Crow. The cast and crew had weathered all of the bizarre accidents, and there was only a week or 2 left of filming. According to the executive producer, all of the dangerous stunts were in the can. Little did they know that the curse of the crow was about to strike with more fury than ever. Shortly after midnight last Tuesday, Brandon Lee was preparing to film a routine action scene. The script called for him to get shot at as he walked through a door carrying a bag of groceries. Michael Massey, the actor doing the shooting, is reportedly devastated by Lee's death and remains in seclusion. The gun he was using was supposed to be loaded with blanks. When the cameras rolled, Brandon Lee was performing for the last time.
The weapon coordinator for the evening was sent home early on the day where Brandon Lee was getting shot. Now, the prop gun they were supposed to use put a blank in the gun. So when they shot the gun, it would just be a blank. However, there was a prop bullet lodged in the barrel of the gun. So when they shot, a blank didn't come out. A prop bullet did and actually hit Brandon and I think suck itself into his lower spine. Well, he started getting up slow. Everybody realized, like, hey, this dude actually just got shot. They rushed him to the hospital, and the next day around 1 p.m., he was pronounced dead. There's so much about this death that make things weird. It doesn't make sense. If you're using the most dangerous prop of all, a real fucking gun, why'd you send home the weapons coordinator? Why wasn't he there? There's so many things that were wrong with Brandon's death. And of course, this naturally inspired the conspiracy to continue from his father. Now, if you didn't know, there's actually a scene in one of Bruce Lee's movies where he's acting and a group of people line up to shoot him with fake blanks in the movie. And one of the assassins has a real gun lined up with them.
Hey, Billy, what's the matter? Hey, what's happening here?
What happened? What's wrong?
My God! It's her.
So a lot of people took that and drew conclusions like, hey, that's kind of odd. So there is a running conspiracy that Brandon Lee was assassinated. It wasn't a wrongful death, accidental death. He didn't get Alec Baldwin. He got assassinated. But I don't know. It's really up to you. What do you think? Was it an accident? Or did Brandon Lee get assassinated? How about the Bruce one? Was Bruce... did he accidentally die on pills, having a reaction to pills? Or do you think Bruce was assassinated? I would love to know your opinion. Yeah, about wraps it up. So, later.